Hey everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Thanks for joining us on a Monday night. Got a return guest to the show tonight. This is his third time on my show, and the reason for that is I really believe in the music that he's putting out, folks. He was on originally with my show with the Twilight Drifters, and he had a solo album out here. Oh gosh, I guess it's been about a year or so ago. And he's got another one that he has just released, and we're going to talk about it tonight and play a bunch of the songs from this project for you. And the album is called Leavin 101, and my friends out in California will get that right away because we're talking about California's Highway 101. And it's a pleasure to welcome Geoffrey Miller to My Kind of Country. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm really glad that you took time to be on the show, and I'm especially glad you sent me your new music.
My pleasure. Glad you like it.
Oh, I love it. And right away, I've got to say a big props to the musicians you've got on this project, in particular my buddy Scott Joss, who is one of the greater fiddle players out there.
Absolutely. Just a privilege to have him on the album. Again, he was on the first one, and actually, when you recorded it for the first album, you recorded this track as well that's on this record. So I just put him out on different records because stylistically it worked better with this one.
He does a great job, and the song is Leavin 101, which is the title song of the album. And Jeff, you wrote everything on this, right?
Yeah, 13 original songs. You know, really inspired by the Bakersfield sound here, just down the highway from me, down the Highway 99. And I've been, for years, been a long time Bakersfield country fan, and that's kind of the inspiration behind a lot of these songs. So they're just a lot of songs I've had, and I kind of wrote over the past couple of years. Coalesced into this album, so I'm really excited about it.
You know, one of the things I know, I mentioned this the last time you were on the show, I really love your cover artwork because you make them look like old records, and I just love the way you do that.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my friend Shorty Poole at Atomic Swag, who did the cover design on that and the last album, and so he does a great job making them look good like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you ought to consider putting out some vinyl, because vinyl's really made a big comeback.
I hear you. I get that all the time, and so I'm definitely thinking about that.
Well, before we start talking about more of the songs on here, tell me about some of the other great players on this project in addition to Scott Joss.
Yeah, like the last album, I happened to get Travis Toy on the same song with Scott Joss. That's the title track, Leavin 101. Travis Toy is a steel guitar, virtuoso, Nashville hot shot. He plays on he plays with a Rascal Flatts currently, I believe, but he's played with everybody, any big name you can think of, as far as I can tell. Just a real sought after musician. And then also on steel guitar on a lot of the tracks. In fact, most of the tracks were for steel guitar. They were recorded by Max Hart, and Max Hart is he tours with Melissa Etheridge currently. He's a touring steel guitar player, and he really kind of has that Bakersfield kind of Tom Brumley sound, which really worked well for the album. So really excited to have him play on it as well. And
of course, Deke Dickerson did all the good old recording for you and everything, as he's been doing on your projects, and another fantastic talent there.
Absolutely, yeah. Deke mixed the first one, and he mixed this one as well. And he's got that sort of ear and that great, stylistic, awareness of what I'm trying to do, and really makes it sound, like it should. So I'm really excited about this record as well, and he did a great job mixing it. And he thought this one came out even better than the first one, so that's high praise from Deke Dickerson on how this one came out.
Well, tell me about some of the standout songs on this project.
Well, I got to say, Leavin 101. It's the first song. It's the title track of the album, and it's got some great players, as I just mentioned. I'm real proud of it. Got to show off some of my guitar playing a little more than some other songs, so that's exciting to me. And then it's just a fun song, so I recommend checking that one out. If you put the disc in, it'll be the first song on there. And of course, that's like you mentioned, reference to Highway 101 here in California, sort of play on words about the highway, but also woman leaving, and how she makes it look easy, like it's a textbook kind of a thing. So it shows you how it's done as like a one-on-one course. So it's sort of a play on word, double meaning. I've been seeing a lot of reaction to the song "Cold Coffee, Warm Beer." It's actually the second song on the album. There's a lot of love gone wrong songs on this album here. I think someone called it a poor bastard type of album. But this is one of those where I got left, the night, and all that was left for me the next morning was cold coffee and warm beer, and it's kind of about how that's a real awful way to leave somebody in that condition. It shows you how the scorn of the scorn of a woman to leave you with cold coffee and warm beer only. It's just it can be a very painful thing.
That's right. Folks, you can go to geoffreymillermusic.com. That is Geoffrey's official website. And, of course, this new album is available there as well as his previous work. Well, I love the theme of this project, and I love the instrumentation. As you mentioned earlier, it's kind of the tip of the hat to the Bakersfield sound, and you are really carrying on, the rockabilly and the Bakersfield country music sound with new music, and I think that is so important in this day and age that we have artists like yourself that are continuing on that tradition.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you saying that. I find the sound to be a lot of fun. It's fun to play. It's fun to listen to. It's just kind of it's mixed into the the artistic and cultural fabric of country music and stuff I like quite a bit, and so I'm very inspired by it. Always have been. So I finally got to use that in an album here in a more meaningful way, prominent way. You can hear the Bakersfield influence.
One of the songs I wanted to talk about this is kind of a standout track for me. It's called "Discount Memories."
Yeah. So another love gone wrong song there. That one's about a divorce. It's not entirely autobiographical, but I did draw upon some personal experiences. I had been married once, but that's another story. And so this song is kind of a little bit how the story of after a divorce, your ex starts selling your stuff all over town to discount stores and antique shops and what have you, and and you finding them around town, trying to buy back these things, these memories, and these little trinkets that were once important. Anyway, it's kind of a fun song, but also sad as well. So it's the duality of some of these songs that I think makes them kind of interesting.
Well, you kind of answered my other question. It sounds like you've drawn from a lot of personal experiences in writing this music.
I try to, yeah. I try to definitely connect them to real life personal experiences or other people's experiences. Try to draw upon real stories as much as possible. Often I mix in fiction sometimes, just to make it work sometimes, or just I think there's a funny idea, or interesting idea, and I'll put that in there as well. But I definitely on every song try to have threads of truth and reality mixed in, because I think that really kind of it comes out in the performance and the songwriting, where you can tell it's real, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and that's truly what country music is really all about, when you get to the bottom line.
Right.
So what's on tap for you this year? Are you doing some dates and getting to do a little bit of traveling?
Yeah, I'm traveling around West Coast a bit. I'm gonna make a trip down to Southern California in a few months, as well as probably up north, maybe get into Oregon or Washington, maybe just kind of starting there. But mainly, right now I'm trying to kind of get work on my live show performance of this new album. Actually, with the shutdowns, man, it was been difficult to kind of just start playing live for a while. Now things are kind of ramping up again, so I'm able to start getting some momentum. So I'm pretty excited about playing this material live for sure.
Well, that's great. Folks, again, you can go to geoffreymillermusic.com. That is the website. And the new album is called Leavin 101. We're going to play some of those great songs for you right now. And, Jeff, as always, I appreciate you sending your music, and it's a pleasure to have you on My Kind of Country.
Pleasure to be here, Scott. I really appreciate it.
All right, that's Geoffrey Miller. Here is Leavin 101 as we continue with My Kind of Country here on Fish Creek Radio.
roads, didn't need no time to think. Just aimed that steering wheel down a California interstate, she was gone. Back to San Jose. Wasn't looking for Eureka, revelation none to make. Didn't get lost in the woods, nothing left to contemplate. She was done, leaving a 101. Well, she didn't say nothing, just turned and started trucking down that big highway. No, she didn't do no fussing, didn't take nothing, just left me a dime in the rain. Didn't wanna talk about it, nothing left to explain. Just got them wheels rolling down that fast lane and made them hum. It was bye-bye, babe. A little bit of mad money, gas filled up in that tank. Just followed that big sign saying southbound to LA on the run. Leaving 101. Well, she didn't say nothing, just turned and started trucking down that big highway. No, she didn't do no fussing, didn't take nothing, just left me a dime in the rain. Like something straight out of a textbook page on how to make a heart break. Leaving 101. Textbook page on how to make a heart break. Leaving 101. Leaving 101. Open bottles, some half filled, scattered everywhere around here, with a faded memory of last night's cheer. Lipstick on a coffee cup that you sipped as you packed up, then said goodbye and left me nothing here but cold coffee and warm beer. That's all that's left of us around here. Bottle caps and grounds on the floor, cigarettes and beer labels burnt and torn. It brings me to tears. Cold coffee and warm beer. Well, we sure had a real good time. Then it turned into a fight, and you realized you just didn't care. Never took you as one for spite. but I guess I saw the light when I woke up this morning to my worst fear. Cold coffee and warm beer, that's all that's left of what we shared. There ain't nothing left to start the day or help to ease the pain. All you left me here is cold coffee and warm beer. Your heart grew colder and I turned to beer on ice. Now there's just that lonesome taste I can't bear, and nothing to chase it but a dead dog's hair. Cold coffee and warm beer, that's all that's left of what we shared. Bottle caps like confetti on the floor, half a pot on the kettle unpoured. Oh, it brings me to tears. Cold coffee and warm beer, all you left me, dear, is cold coffee and warm beer. I found your wedding ring in an antique store on Main Street, with all the rest of forgotten history. Our picture frames randomly arranged, now empty on a shelf, no longer tell a happy love story. This old town was a metropolis of hopes and dreams for you and me, the promise of great prosperity. Now it's all discount memories. The suit I wore when I asked you for your hand, with that ring on a rack in a second-hand boutique. The albums that once sang our love in a used vinyl store, with the sign saying buy two, get one free. You had to go and liquidate all the treasured dreams that we once made across this once great city. We had the life that we once dreamed, filled with many precious things. Now it's all discount memories. A bracelet marked hers by the register, assorted earrings and a pair of gold cufflinks. Aloha honeymoon plate behind the counter, and a heart keychain with an empty ring. Selling off the broken dreams of yesterday, and I'm buying back my heart piece by piece. I know I'll get it back at a markdown rate, 'cause there's nothing left of it you wanna keep. This old town was a metropolis of hopes and dreams for you and me, the promise of great prosperity. We had the life that we once dreamed, filled with so many precious things. Now it's all discount memories. Now it's all discount memories.